It's cold.
Good morning guys, autumn has really kicked in. It has been quite a warm autumn, but the temperatures are going down and most of us are seeking the fish on the deep water, which can be a solid tactic during autumn. But Erik Visser and I seek the fish a bit more shallow than you would usually do. The vegetation is still present on a lot of shallow spots, and that means that you can still find predatory fish on the shallows. Erik and I went fishing with small baits, fat vibes, gravity twitch, cannibal sheds, craft sheds, and we caught Zander, Perch and Pike. We will show you a variety of techniques and we will show you that you can still catch big fish during autumn on the shallows. Enjoy. So we caught some Zander. As soon as the light hit the water, the sun came up, the Zander activity died down. We spotted some pike but we couldn't catch them, so now we're gonna head out to another spot, see if we can catch some pike, and then we're gonna move out and fish for the perch, the Zander, and potentially some big pike as well. So we are gonna target a shallow plateau with hopefully some old vegetation. This morning we were casting with small soft baits, quite heavy, 21 gram. This is the craft shed, but I'm gonna use one of the fat vibes. Cool little rattle bait, lipless crankbait, whatever you want to call it. 6.6 centimeters, 66 millimeters, 22 grams. These little neat treble hook protectors from Savage are awesome. It saves you a ton of time because you don't get them tangled in your tackle box. You just easily remove them like that. And also they don't get stuck in gloves and stuff like that. And it's a lot safer for your hands as well. I'm gonna work this through the weed beds, which are quite scarce. If there's any vegetation, it will be half a meter on top of the bottom. And Erik is gonna work with a gravity twitch, I think. I think he's a big fan of the 8.3 centimeter. I'm gonna see if we can catch some fish, and if we can't catch them on the hard baits, then we're gonna switch to the soft baits, but hopefully we find some perch, some Zander, and potentially a big pike here as well. Let's go.
Completely gone. I'm using the craft shed. I'm using it on a 10 gram lead head. The rod that I'm using is the SG4 medium game reel. I'm using the SG 8000 series. Again on the herring shed. Bye.
We got the perch we wanted, the 45 centimeter plus. I think this will hit 45. Stunning fish, like we talked about it before. If these fish would reach a meter, 80 centimeter at least, that would be awesome. But look at this, like it's a slaughter. Let's take some quick measurements and get the perch back. Well, 46 centimeter.
Around the 60 centimeters. Colors on the head.
When fishing spots like these, you want to fish with baits that run quite shallow. We're fishing at between 1.5 and 2.5 meters deep, and we're using a mix of crankbaits, twitch baits, soft baits, lipless crankbaits, spinners, you name it. Erik has been really successful on the gravity twitch, the medium runner. I've been using a variety of baits, from the cannibal sheds to the craft sheds to the gravity crank and the fat vibes. You want to fish small when you fish from multiple species like this. it is still October. I mean, you wouldn't think of it because we're fishing in our hoodies, and normally you would think that the weather will be cold and that, you know, it will be shitty weather, which is coming next week, by the way. But the trick now is to still fish on these shallow spots because the fish are still there. If there is vegetation, if the temperature is still okay, we're fishing at 13 degrees water temperature at the moment, you can catch basically anything on the shallows. Found a variety of fish, zander, perch, pike, and all mixed in between as well. Usually you notice that when the water gets really clear, you will find less and less zander, and the other way around goes for pike. We had a lot of mix on this really shallow zone. We had some areas where the water was murky, we had some areas where the water was quite clear. You would notice that the species you would catch depended on the type of clarity you would have.
It's completely gone there, buddy.
I think I need some help with this one.
So we were fishing for?
For perch. A little twitch bait.
Nice.
So let's go a bit more in depth on what kind of baits we are using. Casting with small soft baits, little herring sheds or craft sheds, and a variety of hard baits. Erik has been really successful with the medium runner, the gravity twitch. This one is the shallow version if you want to fish just below the surface. But then also you got the gravity crank. For trolling I really like these during winter, but you can crank and twitch these a little as well, especially on water less than 2 meters deep. This one works really well too. Stop and go with all these baits, crank it up, speed it up, make a lot of noise under the surface and then stop it, pause it. And it's important to pay attention when you pause it that you reel off the slack, because usually the takes come, and especially with crankbaits like this, they can grab it and spit it out straight away. So you want to make sure you have tension on the line when you pause a bait like this. Other baits that are a bit different when you pause them because they don't hang still in the water column are baits like the fat vibes or the fat spin tail. These both sink down when you pause it, but these are excellent when you want to create extra depth. So let's say you're fishing the edge of the drop off on this shallow plateau that we are fishing from 2 meters towards 3 or 3.5. Then a bait like this, when you fish it over the edge of the drop off, you can let it sink down and then create some extra depth. Same goes with the fat vibes. These, you fish them in a more steady retrieve, but you speed them up a little and then you give them some time to sink down again. So, selection of hard baits that we use on the shallows, late autumn, gravity twitch, gravity crank, fat vibe, spin tail, and a selection of small soft baits. Also, we mentioned before, get these little hook protectors. Perfect for when you want to store them in your tackle boxes. You sacrifice just a tiny bit of space in your tackle boxes. Who hasn't had the unpleasant procedure of getting the lures out of your tackle box and then you want to grab one little crankbait and then you get the whole collection out of your tackle box. Put these little treble hook protectors on and you're good to go. If you're fishing bigger baits, well, we got these hook protectors up towards 3.0. So if you want to fish the big trouts or the big roaches, these are perfect to protect your hooks and protect your hands and make your life a lot easier. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and also enjoy autumn while it lasts. Winter is rapidly approaching and soon we will have to face the freezing cold again. Check out the latest edition of the 4 seasons of pike fishing. In this autumn edition we'll explain pike fishing tactics throughout autumn while it still lasts. Soon we will launch the winter edition as well. Subscribe to the Savage Gear YouTube channel and we'll catch you guys in the next video.